Welcome to the Spiritually Me podcast that helps you connect with that beautiful and eternal being within you. Whether you're new to spirituality or a seasoned practitioner, this is the show for you. As someone who has struggled with my inner voice and felt unsure of how to live a life that aligns with my soul, I know how confusing it can be. That's why I created this podcast, to help others find the clarity, peace, and purpose that I have found in my own journey. So if you're craving guidance, support on your journey towards spiritual awakening and divine connection, tune into this podcast for your weekly dose of inspiration. I'm Dulce Candy, your Latina sister, and this is Spiritually Me. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today I am doing a 2.5-month update on my medication, antidepressant medication, and a lot of you asked me some really great questions, so we're just going to jump right into it, right? So I've been on antidepressants for 2.5 months. I am taking the medication Lexapro, and I am on 10 milligrams, which is a little bit more than conservative. That is not conservative. The first question, why are you depressed? Do you lack of anything? I think that's the biggest misconception, is that people think that people who are successful, who have beautiful families, who are, have an active social life, that those people don't get depressed. But that is far from the truth. The strongest people, bodybuilders, athletes, professionals, musicians, artists, literally, depression does not discriminate, and it can target absolutely anyone. The person that you least expect to suffer from depression can suffer from depression. It has nothing to do with your accomplishments. Depression is an illness that is in the mind, right? So just like you can't stop a certain virus from doing something internally in your body, it's the same way. You need to be treated accordingly, I believe, in order to get the proper help and in order to heal. How or what made you realize that you needed antidepressants to help you with your depression? So I would say that the thing that made me realize that I needed it is that I got to a point in my life where everything was kind of getting destroyed. And my friend put it beautifully. She said that depression kills or destroys all the good things in your life. And I felt like that's what was happening with me. It's just I got to a point where I didn't want to be here anymore. I had no idea why. And again, just going back to question number 1, I was looking around and I was like, it's nothing externally. This is a battle that was taking place in my mind. And I was literally going to war with my own self in my mind every single day, moment by moment. And I didn't want to live like that anymore. I felt like I wasn't able to move forward and progress in my life because the depression was really just, it kept me, I felt chained, right? So were you scared to start them? I was scared because, like a lot of people, I also had this negative perception of medication. I feel like when someone opens up about being mentally ill or having any type of disorder, dysfunction in the mind, sometimes people are perceived as weak or incapable of managing normal things that everybody manages, all the challenges. And there's still an incredible stigma, and you don't want to be perceived as crazy also. And the side effects also, I was concerned about like the side effects and how it was going to make me feel and all of those things, and the weight gain and the suicidal thoughts that can also come from medication, that I decided for a long time that I was just going to do it the natural way. But it got to a point that even though my life is a life that has a lot of intention, and I'm very aware of all of my habits and the patterns that I repeat in my mind and in my physical reality. And I live a healthy, very healthy life, but all of those healthy activities were still not helping me with my depression. And sometimes if you're feeling sad one day, you can just go outside and get some sunshine and you feel like your normal self again. And for me, it wasn't like that. I was doing all of the things and I feel like they kept me alive, but there was the one missing ingredient, and that was, or the one missing puzzle piece, and that was my medication for me. Hola, has it made you feel emotionless or numb? Really great question. I feel like the first time that I made the video, my first video, like my week one on Lexapro, I said that I felt nothing. And I think a lot of people took that as feeling numb because they were also sharing with me that they rather feel the pain and the suffering than just feel nothing. And that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that I'm just like this numb individual that feels nothing and or you know what I mean? It's just that when you suffer from depression, and of course it looks different for all of us, but depression for me felt like a negative dark cloud hanging over me and in my mind and clouding my mind. I felt very ungrounded also. And so when I said that it made me feel nothing, I felt like it made me feel balanced and normal. And by normal, I feel like I'm living my day to day experience with healthy emotions, even if it's annoyance or maybe I'm agitated or just annoyed, maybe or maybe a little bit overwhelmed is emotions that I felt, but those are normal feelings that we all feel. So emotion, I feel all of them, but I feel in a healthy way where I feel the emotion, even if it's the lower vibration emotion of boredom or maybe I'm agitated or annoyed, but I feel the emotion come and I feel it pass. And it's not something that I'm taking with me throughout my whole entire day, even if I'm at a happy place or at an event or doing something, something outside of my comfort zone, where before it was like I'm smiling on the outside, but I was suffering inside. Now I feel like if I'm smiling outside, it's because I'm smiling in here. And if I'm agitated, it's because I'm agitated in here. And it's just feeling the normal passing of emotions in a healthy way, as opposed to living your whole entire existence 24/7, even when you're sleeping, just depressed and hopeless and not feeling strong, strong within you. That's not what I feel anymore. So that's what I meant when I feel nothing. It's just like I feel normal, quote unquote normal, whatever that is, right? Was there trial and error to get the right dosage and type? So for me, my doctor was not a psychiatrist, the one who recommended my medication. He just put me on 10 milligrams right away because he saw that I was in a really bad state and I did not want to be here anymore. So he's like, we can't wait for you to see a psychiatrist at this current moment, because I went to see my general doctor at the VA hospital and I got community care at the VA hospital, which has been incredible experience, guys. And he gave me 10 milligrams of Lexapro. And then he's like, we're just going to see how this medication works for you and everything. And then once you meet up with your psychiatrist, then you guys can discuss if you're going to change anything. So then I met up with my psychiatrist about a month later like a month and a half later. And he said that usually he's a little bit more conservative and he would have recommended that I take half of the tablet, so 5 milligrams. But he's like, if you're doing great with 10 milligrams, then let's just stay with that. And the medication for me has been working incredibly well. And my husband also was on Lexapro many years ago and he did not enjoy it at all. So it's just kind of like seeing how your body reacts to it. Some of the major side effects are suicidal thoughts. My doctor explained to me that's something that is usually that happens in teenagers. Weight gain is also a side effect. And one of the reasons why a lot of people don't take medication is because they don't want to gain weight. But my doctor recommended that I just do resistance training, which is really great for burning fat. If that's something that is of interest to you. But for me, I know that I feel my best when I am physically fit and I feel comfortable in my body and confident in my body. And for me, that's when I'm working out consistently every single day. So I work out every single day, 5 days a week. And on my days off, I do yoga or I go walking. So I have a very active lifestyle and I only weight train. My antidepressant was using the gym and spending time in nature. It really helped me. I hope you're well. Yes, nature and the gym, wonderful. wonderful things, of course. I do believe it's a holistic approach because I've tried all of the, the natural things, and they're still a part of my reality because I do believe it's a holistic approach to your healing. But for someone like me who did have or has a mental illness, the missing puzzle piece again was just the medication. What is your plan, and when do you want to get off of them? And are you scared of being dependent on them? One, I am not scared of being dependent on medication. I don't feel dependent. It's a part of my routine. I take them right before bed at 7 p.m. I have 0 side effects, so it's not something that I feel like, oh, my dosage is wearing off. Now, I did see my psychiatrist finally, like I mentioned, and he did diagnose me with PTSD, depression, and he also said I'm a perfectionist, which I'm overly critical. So I got to work on that, ladies. Anyways, as far as any side effects, I don't feel any. I only felt side effects, I would say like the first week I felt the most, which were I was feeling lethargic, nauseous, and I had a bigger appetite, and I had a hard time waking up in the morning. I have no suicidal thoughts whatsoever, and my sex drive was also non-existent. And then after a month and a half, I still did not have a sex drive, but I started to feel like it was kind of like going back to what it was. And now at 2.5 months, I have a normal sex drive, and my therapist even said that your sex drive should not be a concern of yours when you're first thinking about taking the medication, because it's something that just kind of comes back to you as you start to feel better. And she was so right. So it's important to have also a partner that supports you on this, and not someone who's going to tell you, oh, don't get on medication because, our sex life is more important. No, your mental health is more important, because after that, everything is going to flourish. So yes, my sex drive is back to normal completely, and I don't have any suicidal thoughts. I don't have any depression. I don't have any anxiety, have not experienced it. I am very calm, level-headed all day. I wake up in the morning, I have the biggest smile on my face, and that's like the biggest thing that I notice in me is that I walk down the stairs to greet my family, and I'm just like... I just have like the biggest smile. I'm like, good morning, everybody. How are you? Like, I just have the biggest smile. And in the past, I was just like melancholy, I was just like more serious, or maybe like a fake smile, but even like here at home, I don't have to fake the front at all. So I would just be very serious. And yeah, so a happy wife, happy life, happy hubby, happy life, happy mom, happy family, okay? So what am I unhappy about? I am not unhappy about anything. Any major side effects? None. But again, everybody's journey on this medication and on any medication is different. And I think the fact that I do live a very healthy lifestyle, I meditate every single day, I work out every single day, I take supplements, I eat healthy, I go on natures, I have beautiful friends now who just fill my soul. All of those things is the holistic approach that I feel like we need in order to not experience all of the negative side effects that could come from that. Because I feel like if I was, eating junk food all day, if I wasn't working out, if I wasn't doing meditation, maybe I would have negative side effects. But because I'm helping myself and the medication is just there to kind of clear the fog, I'm able to really live such an amazing, incredible life. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, ladies, I will stay on this medication for the rest of my life. I have no shame around that. Like, it has transformed my life. And I'm not saying this in this grand way to exaggerate things. I am telling you, even my relationships, guys, I was always the one who never had any friends. I have meaningful friends now. The reason I didn't have friends before is because I pushed people away because I was in survival mode. I didn't want to get hurt. I pushed everybody away. I let go of so many people in my business team. Everything started to like just break down and tumble. And ever since I got on my medication, and I have to remind myself, healing takes time. Also, just remember that healing takes time. This is only 2.5 months for me, but in this short amount of time, I've seen a big drastic change in my life, which is why I'm so passionate about talking about this, because if I can inspire one person to go see their psychiatrist, to go see their doctor, and to not suffer for longer than they have to, that's amazing, you know? So other things that I've noticed that have helped me out, as far as mood swings, someone asked, I don't have any mood swings that are out of the normal. I feel just my normal, maybe I get agitated a little bit, but like I said, I just feel like emotions come by very natural, whether it's happiness or sadness, which I haven't experienced any sadness, but happiness that comes, it comes in and it flows out. If I'm annoyed and it comes in, I feel it, it comes out. They're just passengers. Feelings are now passengers. My feelings used to be like the dominating force in my life. And again, the medication, as my doctor explained to me, does not get rid of your thoughts, but it clears the fog so you can be who you are. It just clears the path. Beautiful relationships have taken place. I've launched my first women's circle. I led that event. I had women here in my house. I made beautiful friends. My beautiful friend Edith, my friend Candace. I've never had this kind of relationship with women before, where God is at the center of our relationship. We meet up, we talk about God, we talk about spirituality, we talk about how the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, are very similar to the teachings of Jesus Christ. And we talk about all of these beautiful and meaningful things. I've never had that in my life before. I have now an incredible psychiatrist, an incredible chiropractor. I hired an amazing, beautiful team, management team that believes in me, believes in my vision. It's been something that I've been manifesting. I just feel like I'm really bringing all of this good into my life now. And my meditation practice has elevated to the next level, to the level of the journey of beginning this self-realization within us, and being a part of spiritual communities of the Self-Realization Fellowship by Paramahansa Yogananda, and really having these out-of-body experiences. And everything has just been flourishing, ladies, in my career, my path, my focus, what I want to do. Because of meditation, I've been able to let go of attachments, of things that were kind of holding me back, like shackles almost. Opinions, judgments of people, like so many things just have been really doing its thing. I feel like now my workouts are doing what they need to do in my mind and in my body. My meditation is doing what it needs to do. My clean eating is doing what it needs to do in my body. My career, everything is just, now they're flourishing. I feel like all of the little seeds that I've been planting are now flourishing, and that's because the pill took away that negative dark cloud that was holding me hostage, So yes, and my husband said, because someone said, have the people around you notice the difference in you while on antidepressants? I feel like the new relationships in my life have noticed. Well, I don't know if they've noticed, but they just know a new me. They don't know the old me. Really, because again, I didn't have friends before, and the friends that I did have, I didn't even see those friends, so maybe people don't really know me that much, but the people who have noticed the biggest difference is my husband. He again notices how even the changes that have been happening in our family, from possibly moving to another state or moving out of the country, those are challenges that I feel so capable and excited to and ready to be able to adapt to any even big drastic change, such as uprooting your family and putting them in a new environment and a whole new country. I feel so capable to do those things that before medication, I couldn't even go to the grocery store without already being like, okay, something bad is going to happen. What's the exit strategy? What's going on? This person's acting shady. Why is this person dressed like this? Like that's my PTSD, always vigilant. And so because of my PTSD, I was also like helicopter mom, like I kept my kids safe. Like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. I didn't want my son to go to preschool because I had all this fear around school and who are these teachers? I don't know them, background checks, like all of these things. And that day that I dropped off my son at preschool is the day that I already had my medication, but I was scared of taking it. And I dropped him off for the first time at preschool, and I had a panic attack. I couldn't even leave him at school. I wanted to just keep him here and protect him. And that's, I ended up bringing him back home, and I had a breakdown. And I'm like, I'm going to try the medication because this is so overwhelming for me to even just leave my son here. But I've been able to loosen my attachments with the people that I love. I don't ruminate on what people say or even what I say around my friends or people, because I used to, like, just after having an interaction with a friend or saying something online, I would be back in my own mind thinking about, like, damn, I shouldn't have said this. How did this person feel? Oh, I wish I would have acted this way instead. Why did I have my ego all showing up in this situation? Now I'm just like, if whatever I experience, I do my best to not judge the situation, to not judge what anybody did, because I would only be judging myself. And that's something really big that I noticed, is that I don't go into my mind and dissect every little interaction that I had with people, or a word that I said, or people's true meanings, true intentions. Like, I don't do that anymore. And that's so freeing, because it used to really get me paranoid, So yeah, those are pretty much the things that I've noticed, guys. Just a lot of things just really flourishing in my life. I don't have any side effects, and I really hope that someone out there who is watching today's video goes and sees their doctor, psychologist. I am still going to continue to see a therapist, because this is a journey of, again, approaching this as something that's holistic. You can't just have a fitness routine and eat poorly. You can't just do one. It has to be like every single category of your life. You have to look at it from your finances, your relationships, your spirituality, your health and fitness, your career, your quality of life, your mental health. Everything has to be top notch. We can't just show up in one area and everything else fall back. To me, success is having consistency across all of the categories in my life. And now that I have my medication, I feel like it's really happening. So it just feels really wonderful, ladies. And again, I just hope today's video helps somebody out there. I hope you all have a blessed and beautiful day. And if you have any more questions, please make sure you submit them down in the description box down below. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope it helps somebody out there. Have a blessed and beautiful day, and I can't wait to see you soon.